Hi guys, welcome to Beard's Eye Review, and this is going to be my top 5 tips for a healthier and fuller beard. Before we begin, don't forget to like and comment down below, subscribe and ring the bell to be notified whenever I do videos. I do them every single Wednesday, so make sure you keep a lookout for those. Getting a really good beard, a nice, strong and healthy beard is paramount when you're trying to grow it, and you have to do certain things to make sure that you get the best that you can get out of it. If you just literally just sit there and let it grow, you're probably not going to get the result that you want. So there are some good ideas and some tips and tricks out there, and these are the top 5 things that I do every single time to make sure I can get a nice, fuller, healthy beard. And I guarantee if you do these, you will definitely have a better beard for it. The first thing is combing. Might sound like a no-brainer, but it's about the quality of combs and the way that you do it to make sure that it works perfectly full for you. The kind of ones that you definitely want to go for are these kinds of combs, the good quality ones, the ones that are made out of, I don't know what they're actually made out of. I think it is some sort of wood, but again I can't be too sure what kind of wood. Could be different ones depending on what you get, but definitely go for these kind of wooden type brushes and combs. Don't go for these if you get these in like gift packs and all that kind of stuff and Christmas gifts and all this kind of stuff, or you decide to get it cheap because you haven't got a lot of money. Honestly, you will suffer if you get something like this, because it's cheap plastic. It's not, it's just been cut out of a mold. It's nothing special, so it will give you a lot of irritation when you're combing, and that is definitely a no-no. Another one with the combing type thing is your brushes. Now the combs are important, but brushing is just as important. The reason why is because this gets rid of your frizz. So this kind of stuff, you'll comb it out and it makes it all nice and like neat as best you can. Then this, if there's any frizzy parts, you comb it and it will get rid of the frizz for you. So definitely have a brush and definitely have a comb as well. You need both. The next one I want to talk about is washing daily. Might sound like a no-brainer, but it's about the way that you do it. It's not just about making sure it's clean, it's about how many times you do it and that kind of stuff. And for me personally, yes, you wash daily. Yes, you use shampoo. I'm using Brisk at the moment. This is a pretty decent shampoo. I definitely recommend going out and getting beard shampoo, not just your regular hair shampoo, because it is a different consistency. There is a different feel to your beard than there is to your hair. It feels different, it's more wiry, so it makes more sense to go and get the specialised stuff because that is what it's there for. However, what I will say is when you wash daily, you don't have to use your shampoo every single day. People make a lot of mistakes here doing a thing called overwashing. If you wash every single day with shampoo, then you're not letting the natural oils of your beard come through, and you're potentially wrecking it and potentially drying it out a lot. So when you do your washing, I would say you wash with warm water every single morning, but you don't have to use your shampoo every day. If you use it every couple of days, is more than enough. So 2 days without it, 1 day on, 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off. That is the best way to do it. It keeps it nice and easy and it keeps the natural oils intact, so it's definitely the way to go. The next one I want to talk about, beard oils. Click the link above my head if you want to see what my best and worst beard oils were. Again, this is the stuff that I've tried, not everything that's on the market. So click that link above my head if you want to check what that is. But beard oils, very important, very, very important. This is essentially like your face wash. You need it to cleanse yourself. You need the same thing, it cleanses your beard. But it's about the way that you do it as well. There are plenty of people here that just pour too much onto it and cake their beard in it. That's a no-no. But then they put a teeny tiny amount that's just not enough to get through. You would want a couple of dabs, like just a small pool in your hand. That's more than enough to rub it into your hands, and then don't go mental with it. Don't push it all the way through and in and out and go insane with it. Just over the top, nice and down, just like that. Nice and gentle. You can just do it like that on the outside. You don't have to get involved too much. Just nice and gently over there. That's all you need in order to make it, to do its work and to make your beard nice and glossy, shiny and healthy. The second to last thing I want to talk about, beard balms. This is probably one of the most important things you will have to do with your beard every single day. Obviously, if there's a day where you're sitting around in a hangover and you're not doing anything, you're sitting having snacks and watching the film, that's not really the big deal. But if you're going out, you're doing your stuff, you're doing your everyday stuff, definitely you need beard balm. This is essentially your hair gel, your matte hair gel, your whatever you want to use. This is essentially what that is for your beard. Again, it's about using not too much, but not too little either. They're very important. This Captain Fawcett one is one of the best, if not the best one I've ever used. And I would say when you go and get beard balms, make sure that it has an oily consistency to it. Make sure when you press it, it reacts to the heat in your fingers, so it melts nice and easily. If it's too hard like wax, it's not going to work. You're going to be there struggling too much, and that's going to annoy the hell out of you. Then you'll get bits in your beard and you don't want that. What you want is a nice oily consistency that melts nicely on the touch of your hand. If it's a watery consistency, it doesn't work because it just causes your beard just not to sit right. It just makes it all wiry and warts. It doesn't work. But with the oily consistency ones, absolutely perfect. These things, you rub it in. Again, you don't need more than half a thimbleful. I'd say it's more than enough. Put it in your hand, rub it in, and this is where you do something different to what you do with your beard oils. You put it into your beard and you go mental. You put it in everywhere. Don't go too aggressive. Don't put it in just like back and forth constantly, because you're just going to cause too much friction and that's going to cause problems. But get your hands up in there, move it all over, get it all over your mustache and then up and down and through here. That is the best way to get it all in, and then you go to like combing it out and drying it out with a hairdryer, because that's what I do. Use a hairdryer on a very low setting is the best way to go. You just comb it all out, then brush it, and that's pretty much you done. But beard balms are very, very important, and I recommend that you definitely pick some of them up. The final tip I want to give you today to give yourself a healthier and fuller beard is trimming and cutting regularly. What I mean by this is actually going to a barber, to a professional. If you want to keep yourself trimmed while you're around, you get a couple of snaggies here and there, fine. You know, trim that up. It's all fine to like trim stuff up, make it nice and tidy for yourself. But what I mean mainly is going to a professional place. I go to a place called Mr. Robinson's in Rugby. Got a guy called Tommy who's won Barber of the Year a couple of times now. He's absolutely amazing, and I definitely recommend that you go. If you can go every 2 weeks, I would say do that. But I only go once a month because that's all I can afford. It's 20 quid for the hair and the beard, and I think that's quite reasonable. And it's the best way to do it because it freshens up your beard, it keeps it healthy, it keeps it clean, it gets rid of the dead ends, and it shapes it nice, and it's good to do that. It's the same thing what you would do when you cut your hair. It needs to be done so that way, even if you had long hair, like because I used to have long hair as a kid, as a teenager, I used to have long hair. So you still need to cut the dead ends away and get it all nice and layered and everything, making it look nice. It's the same with the beard. You have to get it all cut and trimmed and everything. Once a month it is enough, but like I say, if you can afford to do it a couple times a month, then go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is so important because it keeps it healthy, it keeps it fresh, and it just looks nice. At the end of the day, the best that your beard will look is right after that first haircut. Definitely the way to go. Definitely make sure that you do that. One thing before I go as well, there's a new thing going on with me and my missus that we decided to do. We decided to do our own vlogging channel. We're not going to be putting stuff out every single week, but every time we're doing something or something cool, then we'll vlog it, we'll put it together, and it will be on this thing called Mason Memories. So I'll put the link in the description. If you can go over there, subscribe, and watch the videos that we've got on there so far, we'd really appreciate it. Any feedback is welcome. We just thought we'd do it. It'd be a laugh. We'll see how we go. Because we decided that we're going to go to Disney World and we want to build up towards that as well as doing it. So vlogging it and documenting it is something we've always wanted to do. So please, any help, any feedback, any support is always welcome. So those are my 5 tips to a healthier and fuller beard. What did you think about them? Let me know down in the comments. If you've got some tips of your own, some any ideas like beards or any ideas on other videos you want me to do beard-wise, again, comment down below. If you want to find me on social media, any of these, all links are in the description, and I'll see you soon.